Good morning, students. Yesterday we have learned about calculation of errors like absolute errors, relative errors and percentage errors. Now when we actually go for doing experiments, we will be doing measurements of various physical quantities. For example, suppose we want to find out mass density of a particular object. Then mass density is defined as ratio of mass to the volume. Density is mass divided by volume. So when we go for measurement of mass, there will be error in the measurement of mass as well as error in the measurement of volume. Suppose it is a cuboid, then you have to measure length, breadth and height so that you will get the volume. So there will be errors in the measurement of mass, errors in the measurement of length, error in the measurement of breadth, error in the measurement of height. Then how to account for all these errors so that finally we can calculate the error in the measurement of density. In such cases, there are certain rules to be followed for combination of errors. So today we are learning combination of errors and the rules for combination of errors. So we will learn one by one. Suppose there are two quantities to be added, like perimeter of a rectangular area. Perimeter of a rectangular area is 2 times the length plus 2 times the breadth. So when you measure length 2 times and breadth 2 times and add it, that gives us the total perimeter of a rectangular surface or rectangular area. So error will be there in the length also, error will be there in the breadth also. Then in such case, whenever two quantities are to be added, then how to calculate the total error in the result. So suppose A and B are two physical quantities to be added. Like length and breadth to be added to get the result Z, says that Z is equal to A plus B. Then let us say that A is having certain error and B is having error. If A has delta A as absolute error, then if A is measured, if measured value of A is A plus delta A. Yesterday we learned what is delta A. Delta A is the absolute error. Okay, where delta A is the absolute error and measured value of B is B plus delta B. Then the result will also have error. Then the result will also have absolute error, which is given by Z plus delta Z, where delta Z is the absolute error in the result Z. Then Z plus delta Z can be written as A plus delta A plus B plus delta B. Then how to calculate the combination of these errors when two physical quantities are to be added? That's what we are going to do now. Then this can be simplified as A plus B plus delta A plus delta B. So this becomes Z plus delta Z. In this equation, look at this. Z is already equal to A plus B. We know that Z is A plus B. Therefore, the absolute error delta Z must be equal to delta A plus delta B. So cancelling Z equal to A plus B, this implies delta Z is equal to delta A plus delta B. So what do you understand from this simple analysis? Whenever two physical quantities to be added, even same thing goes for subtraction also. Even if you go for subtraction, suppose it is A minus B, then delta Z plus delta Z or Z plus delta Z is equal to A plus delta A minus B plus delta B, where delta A and delta B are the absolute errors in A and B respectively. Then if you substitute Z plus delta Z is equal to A minus B plus delta A plus delta B. Again if you cancel Z equal to A minus B, we are going to get delta Z is equal to delta A plus delta B. Means if there are two physical quantities which need to be added or even subtracted to get the result, then the total absolute error in the result, is equal to sum of the absolute errors in the individual results. Sum of the absolute errors in the individual measured quantities. This is the first rule. So that's what I am going to write. Rule for addition of errors. Rule for addition of errors. If when two physical quantities are to be added or subtracted, to be added or subtracted, then the absolute error in the final result in the final result absolute error in the final result, absolute error in the final result is equal to sum of the absolute errors of the measured quantities. So this is the first one. Please note down. Whenever physical quantities to be added or subtracted to get the result, then the absolute error in the result, delta Z is equal to sum of the absolute errors of the measured values, delta A plus delta B. That gives us the maximum absolute error. Okay. So this is also true for subtraction of two physical quantities. Now let us see one example based on this. Now look into this problem. Temperatures of two bodies measured by a thermometer. Temperatures of two bodies measured by a thermometer are T1 equal to 20 degrees Celsius plus or minus 0.5 degrees Celsius, and another body has temperature T2 equal to 50 degrees Celsius plus or minus 0.5 degrees Celsius. Means plus or minus 0.5 degree in T1 and plus or minus 0.5 degree in T2 are the absolute errors in T1 and T2, and we have learned earlier whether it is positive value or negative value, we have to take the absolute value all the time. Absolute means we have to take always the modulus. So modulus value of minus 0.5 is also positive value, and same thing here also. So you are asked to calculate the temperature difference of these two bodies and error therein in the result. Error there in the result. So temperature difference. Temperature difference is equal to, let us take this one as T. T equal to T2 minus T1. Difference, anyhow difference is asked. So that becomes 50 degrees Celsius minus 20 degrees Celsius. That becomes 30 degrees Celsius. So if you write the exact value, it becomes plus or minus 0.5 minus 20 degrees Celsius plus or minus 0.5 degrees Celsius. So 50 minus 20 becomes 30 degrees Celsius is the actual result that we are supposed to get, but there is an error. How much is the error? That is, as we have learned from the previous rule, if there are two quantities to be added or subtracted, then the absolute error in the result is equal to sum of the absolute errors in the measured quantities. Sum of the absolute errors in the measured quantities is 0.5 plus 0.5, that's it. So it becomes 0.5 plus 0.5, that becomes 0.1 degrees Celsius. So this is the actual measured value. So this is the actual measured value, T equal to 30 degrees Celsius plus 0.1 degrees Celsius. Therefore, absolute error in the result is delta T. You can write this one as T plus delta T. So as a result, delta T is equal to 1.1 degrees Celsius. That is 0.5 plus 0.5, it becomes 1.0. It's not 0.5. 0.5 plus 0.5 becomes 1.0. 1.0 degrees Celsius. So there is a total absolute error of 1 degree Celsius. This is the result. Now, if suppose two quantities are to be multiplied, like for example, calculation of area, surface area of a rectangular surface. If it is a rectangular surface area, then if you want to calculate the area, then we know length into breadth gives us surface area. Then length will also be having error and breadth will also be having error. Then in such situation, whenever two quantities are to be multiplied, or in certain situation like mass by volume, wherein we calculate density by taking the ratio of mass with volume, mass by volume, there it is a quotient. So whenever two physical quantities are to be multiplied or two physical quantities are to be divided, then what is the rule to get the total combination of error? Let us see that second one. Suppose Z is equal to AB. A into B, like the area of a surface, area of a rectangular board. Area of a rectangular board is equal to length into breadth. Then the length will also have absolute error, breadth will also have absolute error. In general, let us suppose Z is equal to AB, where Z is the result and A and B are the measured values, where A plus delta A is the measured value of A, B plus delta B, measured value of B, measured value of A and measured value of B. Then how to find the total error in the result? So let us suppose the measured value of Z is Z plus delta Z. If the measured value of Z is Z plus delta Z, then this z plus delta z should be equal to a plus delta a into b plus delta b. As I said again earlier, delta a is the absolute error in a, delta b is the absolute error in b. So absolute error in the result delta z we need to find out. Delta z is going to be the absolute error in the result. Now take the product straight away. So a into b gives us ab plus a into delta b gives us a delta b plus delta a into b. Next, distribution property of distribution b into delta a, b into delta a plus delta a into delta b. So this is going to be z plus delta z. Now in this, delta a and delta b are going to be very small fractions, small decimals. Since the absolute errors are small fractions or small decimals, if you take the product of those decimals, it's going to be still smaller. So since this quantity is going to be very small decimal, so this quantity delta a and delta b is ignored. Since it is going to be very small quantity, product of two decimals is going to be still smaller, it can be neglected. So you are left with ab plus a delta b plus b delta a. ab plus a delta b plus b delta a is equal to z plus delta z. Now again we know that z is equal to ab. Z is equal to AB. You can cancel Z with this. So you are left with Z minus AB. You are left with okay. You will be left with delta Z is equal to A delta B plus B delta A. After cancelling, you are left with delta Z is equal to A delta B plus B delta A. So this is absolute error. Now let us find out the relative error. You know, yesterday we have found out relative error is the ratio of absolute error to the actual value. So relative error in A becomes delta A by A, where delta A is the absolute error and A is the actual value. So ratio of absolute error to the actual value gives us relative error. So if you take the relative error Z by delta Z, so we want to calculate relative error. So for that, what we will do? We will divide this entire equation by Z equal to AB. See, dividing the equation by Z equal to AB, so that we will get on the left hand side delta Z by Z. So left hand side we divide it by Z, right hand side we are dividing it by AB. I think you got the point. Dividing left hand side by Z and right hand side by product AB, we get delta Z by Z, which is the relative error in Z, is equal to A delta B by AB plus B delta A by AB. So you can cancel here. You can cancel A with A, B with B. So don't cancel this B with this. This is delta B. That's a whole quantity, which is a very small error. And delta A is also small error. You cannot cancel it. So if you cancel B with B, A will be left here. B with B, A is left here. Therefore, you are left with delta B by B plus delta A by A. Now look at this final equation. Thus we get final equation. Relative error in Z, delta Z by Z, relative error in the result is equal to sum of the relative errors, delta A by A plus delta B by B, sum of the relative errors. So this is the rule. So what is the rule? Whenever two quantities are multipliers to give the result, if in case the physical quantity is product of two measured quantities, two physical quantities like Z is equal to AB, or if it is Z equal to A by B also. If it is Z equal to A by B, then it is in the quotient form. If it is in the product form or in the quotient form, then the total relative error in the result is equal to sum of the relative errors of the physical quantities. Sum of the relative errors of the physical quantity. Once again, how to calculate error in the case of product form or a quotient form? Relative error in the product form or in the quotient form is equal to sum of the relative errors of the individual physical quantities. This is the rule number 2nd. So now you just take down. Hence, when two quantities are to be multiplied or divided, hence, when two quantities are to be multiplied or divided, total relative error, the relative error in the result, the relative error in the result is equal to sum of the relative errors, sum of the relative errors of the individual quantities, like A and B. This can be even proved for A by B form, that is quotient form. If it is A by B, then you have to take it as A plus delta A divided by B plus delta B. So Z plus delta Z becomes A plus delta A divided by B plus delta B. Then you need to take A common. Then you will be left with 1 plus delta A by A, and here you have to take B common. Then you will be left with 1 plus delta B by B. So simplify it. Again, finally you are going to get delta Z by Z is equal to delta A by A plus delta B by B. This exercise I am leaving it to you. It means the maximum error in the result, listen here once again, maximum error in the result is equal to sum of the relative errors. Maximum relative error in the result is equal to sum of the relative errors of the individual physical quantities, whether it is a product form or a division form or a quotient form. This rule is very important. This is second rule for product form. Now we will solve problem based on this, then the rule will be very clear. Okay, look at this second problem. The resistance, Ohm's law, I think you have learned in 10th class. Resistance is given by ratio of voltage to the current I. R is equal to V by I, where in a particular experiment the voltage V is measured to be 100 plus or minus 5 volts. So 100 volt is the expected result, but there is a error of plus or minus 5 volts, and current measured to be 10 plus 0.2 ampere, 10 plus or minus 0.2 amperes. So these are the absolute errors. So the question is, find the percentage error in the resistance R. You are asked to find the percentage error in the resistance R. So before finding percentage error, we must find out relative error. So we follow the rule directly. Whenever the physical quantity is in the form of a product or in the form of a quotient, here it is in the form of a quotient, then sum of the relative errors of the physical quantities, equal to total relative error of the result. We will follow that second one. So first we will find out relative error in voltage. Relative error in voltage is given by delta V by V. So delta V is 500. Delta V is 5. So you have to take always magnitude. As I told you, you have to take always modulus value. 5 divided by the actual value is 100. The actual value of voltage is 100 and error is 5. So it becomes 5 divided by 100. Then the relative error in current, delta I by I. Delta I is 0.2. Look at this. Delta I 0.2 divided by 10. So this becomes 2 by 100. So total relative error becomes the total relative error is equal to delta V by V plus delta I by I becomes equal to 5 by 100 plus 2 by 100. So this becomes 7 by 100. This itself is relative error in resistance. This itself becomes relative error in the result, that is resistance. Now percentage error. Percentage error is equal to 7 by 100 into 100. So that gives us 7%. So 7% is the relative error in the resistance. This is how we need to calculate whenever such physical quantities are given in product form or in the quotient form. Let us learn the third important rule when it is in the form of a power. Now let us quickly look into the third case. Error in the case of a measured quantity which is raised to a power. Let us say, for example, if it is a square, we know that area of a square is square of the side. Side into side gives us area. Length into length gives us area of a square. If it is in such form, like volume of a cube is a cube of side, a cube, or length into breadth into height gives us volume of a cuboid. So if it is in such a form of power raised to certain power, then how to calculate error? If z is equal to a square, let us say z is in the form of a to the power 2, then as we have proceeded earlier, z can be also known as a into a square. Then substitute the values of measured values of a. Measured value of a is a plus delta a into a plus delta a. So if you take the product of this will be giving us the result z plus delta z. So this, if you expand this, a into a gives us a square, a into delta a plus a into delta a. You see, a into delta a plus delta a into delta a. delta A square, delta A into delta A, delta square, delta A square. Since delta A is just a small decimal, small fraction, square of that is again going to be still smaller. So this is ignored since it is very small. So if you are ignoring it, then we are getting z plus delta z is equal to a square plus a plus this. So you know z is equal to a square. Already we know that z is equal to a square. We can cancel z with a square. Then you are left with delta z is equal to a delta a plus a delta a, 2 times a delta a, 2 times a delta a, dividing both sides by z equal to a square. Dividing this equation by z equal to a square. As we did earlier, left hand side by left hand side, right hand side by right hand side. So if we divide, we get delta z by z is equal to 2a delta a divided by a square. So you can see here 1a cancels. So you are left with 2 times delta a by a. So this is the result. If it is a to the power 3, then we will be getting delta z by z is equal to 3 times delta a by a. If it is a to the power k, a to the power any constant, any number n, a to the power n, then it becomes delta z by z is equal to n times delta a by a. So this is the meaning of the calculation of error in the case of measured quantity raised to a power. So in general, if z is equal to a to the power n, where n is any integer, then relative error delta z by z is equal to n times delta a by a. So this is the third rule. So quickly note down this third rule. Relative error is n times the relative error in A. Relative error of a measured quantity raised to the power n is n times the relative error of the quantity, physical quantity. So this is the rule number 3. Rule number 3. Relative error of a measured quantity raised to the power n is n times, raised to the power n is n times the relative error of the physical quantity. So that is delta z by z is equal to n times delta a by a. Now let us quickly look into another important thing, summary of all these three, summary of these rules of second and third. Let us see summary of rules second and third by one simple example. Quickly look into this problem. If z is given by an equation a square b to the power 3 by 2 divided by c to the power 4 into d. 4 physical quantities are there with the different powers. Find the relative error in z. Find the relative error in z. Then directly we can apply the rule and write the answer. Relative error in z, delta z by z. This is the relative error in z is equal to a to the power 2 times relative error in a plus, when it is in the product form we have to add the relative errors, 3 by 2 times relative error in b, because 3 by 2 is the power. Then even if it is in the quotient form, even if it is in the form of a division, the relative errors are added. Therefore plus 4 times relative error in c and d to the power 1, so it becomes 1 times delta d by d. So this is the result. So this is how we get the relative error in this form, where it is having multipliers as well as dividers as well as powers. So in general, we can conclude, in general, if z is equal to a to the power p, b to the power q divided by c to the power r, then the relative error in z, relative error in z becomes delta z by z is equal to p delta a by a, because p is the power, p delta a by a plus q delta b by b. They are just added. Even if it is in the denominator, division form, it should be added, plus r delta c by c. So this is how we calculate the final results using the rules of the combination of errors. So in the next session we will solve more and more problems, and that will be helpful to understand these rules. Thank you. Have a nice day. Good day.